Okay, welcome back. The students had to leave to go to their classes, and I'm not sure if anyone's coming up. So we are going to play the rest of the Colonel Kittinger interview. He was just talking about the special pressure suit he had to use for his jump. He was jumping up from the stratosphere down to Earth, and basically he was testing out the suit and testing out the parachute way back in 1960. This was before the Mercury astronauts program, and he was doing a lot of research for the Mercury astronauts in their spacesuits. So this is Colonel Kittinger. We're going to share the screen. And I have speakers, so hopefully it'll be a little bit better to hear. And there are some times, I will warn you, that it becomes hard for us to hear each other. So we'll, and our stream kind of stopped a little bit part way, but we'll see what we can do here. And here we go.
For your very high parachute jumps.
Yeah, a good question. I trained, I made 100 flights down to chamber. I trained in the capsule. I trained in the pressure suit. We duplicated a flight probably 100 times. So when it came time for me to do it, it was routine. And every space flight that's made, every test flight that's made, the pilots go through the simulator. They go through all the test components on the ground. They test everything they can on the ground before they have to fly it. And I did the same thing. I was trained, I was motivated, I was ready to do it.
Oh. What part of the mission scared you the most? Was it going up, coming down, or something in between?
Good question. I was concerned with every part of it because it all had to work properly so that we get on the ground successfully. I'm saying the happiest I was when I got on the ground after we had gone through the test and I was safely on the ground. That was a great moment of enjoyment.
Okay.
Was the jump from the balloon any different than you expected?
No, this was my third jump, and I learned quite a bit on the first two jumps, and there really wasn't any surprises, which is good when you think about it, because that means that we had anticipated all of the problems. The preparation, training, all of it culminated in doing the last jump without any problem or concern. But remember, it had never been done before. I was in an area doing something that had never been accomplished before. So there's always the unknown, and that's why we're there, to eliminate the unknown. So I was there as a test pilot. We can gather that information so that we can use it for the safety.
So we have two questions from the chat room.
From the chat room?
One question to the question.
Just one.
Yes, it says first. Oh, does hearing these stories make you?
No, that's for our
That's
class.
for us. So does hearing these stories make you, us, want to do a jump race?
No, this is for our,
Yeah, this is so.
that's all right, we're gonna do the next one.
Okay, so how How would the weather affect your landing? For example, the blizzard in the Northeast. Did you get
I'm
that?
not so bad for the question.
So how would weather affect the landings?
I did not get the question.
How would weather affect the landing?
Well, the weather is a very important part of this. I had a weatherman that was predicting the wind to go along and where I was going to go and what it was going to be like when I landed. And we had to have ideal conditions because the landing was so interesting because I weighed about 320 pounds with all the equipment. And so I was going to hit pretty hard. So we made certain that we was going to have pretty calm winds on the ground, have good winds aloft. And so the weather was an important part of the decisions that were made. We went when the weatherman said it was right.
All right, we're going to switch over to the green class.
So, you're going, it's okay, should we, you know, you have served in the military. You know you have served in the military and deployed to Vietnam. Do you mind answering some questions about that experience?
Look here.
No, I'll go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, what was your job or mission in Vietnam?
My job in Vietnam was to be a soldier to follow the orders that were given to me. I was a fighter pilot, so I flew airplanes. But all the soldiers that were over there, Marines, soldiers, Army, Coast Guard, we were all of us were over there to accomplish a mission that our superior officers gave us to do. We were soldiers just like the soldiers in Iraq and Iran and World War II and the Revolutionary War. We were all soldiers.
How did you get captured in?
Well, I get captured. I was flying an F-4 Phantom aircraft near Hanoi, and an enemy airplane shot me down. And I came down. I had to eject out of the airplane. I ejected my back seater first, and then I went and I landed in a rice paddy about 30 miles northwest of Hanoi. Immediately and taken to the Hanoi Hilton, which is the name of the country camp that I was taken to, and I spent 11 months there before I was released.
What did you eat when you were the prisoner of war? What did they feed you?
Well, we ate twice a day. Both times was soup. It was made of pumpkin. They take a pumpkin and dump it in the water, and that was our meal with pumpkin soup. And once we had a little bit of rice, we didn't eat very well, but it was enough to keep us starving. But it was pumpkin soup, and I don't like pumpkin soup at all anymore.
Don't blame you.
When you were a prisoner of war, what kept you going physically and mentally?
That's a very good. I had a faith that we would get out of there, and all of us that was there. And by the way, we had some people that were with us for 7 years, but we all had the same spirit. We all had the same enthusiasm that eventually we would be released from there. And what kept us going was our discipline, love, and the goal was to return with honor.
We have a question from the chat.
Well, let's do that one later.
Okay. What was the most scary part of your military career?
Well, I would say probably being a few of them getting shot down. Getting shot down on flying the airplane, going twice the speed of sound, and then second, having to fly out of an aircraft. That's a pretty hairy situation. The other one, of course, was the concern I had when I made the jump from 150,000 to 100 feet.
Okay. So I think we're ready to switch to the red class, right?
Hello. Do you have any words for leaving the military when you retired in 1972? Do you feel happy or sad? What are your feelings?
Well, I had 29 lovely years in 1950 Tech Force. And when I left, I was leaving one career and starting another one. I was proud of my service.
We know you joined a flying circus. Can you describe it? What is it and what was your job?
Well, the flying circus was an advertising venture for a company I worked for called Church Street Station. And we used the airplane. We had 5 airplanes. And we used the airplanes with toy banners and skywriting. We towed a banner every day over at Disney and Universal and SeaWorld, all of the tourist attractions here in Orlando. And then we would skywrite when the weather was good. We would skywrite at the skies over Orlando. So it was, and then we fly balloons, hot air balloons, we fly helium balloons and races. So the balloon flying, hot air balloon flying, airplane flying. It was a wonderful, wonderful, funny time. And I spent 15 years doing it, and I loved every day. It was aviation at its best.
That's not very nice. When you did the solo trip across the Atlantic Ocean, did it ever cross your mind that you might end up in the middle of the ocean or with the fate like Amelia Earhart?
Well, there was always a possibility I couldn't have the ocean. I did not look forward to that because the water was extremely cold. It was 70 miles an hour wind on the surface of the ocean, so I really didn't want to land in the ocean. And I had a boat that the gondola I was in was also a boat, so I would have had some means of floating around the ocean if I had to go down there. But fortunately, I didn't. I would not have enjoyed it had I gone to the ocean, because that was not the goal. The goal was to land in Europe.
Which did you enjoy flying more, airplanes or balloons?
Well, that's a good question. I enjoy flying everything, balloons, gliders, airplanes, jets. It's the excitement, all of it. Sometimes it takes more judgment to fly a balloon because you can't change your trajectory. You have to go with the wind. So, but all of them are enjoyable, and I still fly balloons, and I still fly airplanes, and I still love it. Aviation is still a great adventure for me.
What do you do now? Like anything involving aviation? Do you do anything like that?
Yes, as I said, I'm still involved in aviation. I was a consultant to Phyllis Bumgarner when he made his jump from 128,000 feet back in 2012. So I'm still a consultant on projects that are exciting, like one of the parachute jump from Phyllis Bumgarner.
How did you meet? Oh, I have a question. We have some questions for Mrs. Kittinger.
Just a minute, I'll get her.
Here.
Hi,
Hi. Hi. How did you meet
the Colonel.
Colonel?
Well, my college job was chasing balloons. And Joe was a pilot, and I would chase him. And that's how we met, on the balloon field.
Can you explain what chasing balloons means?
Sure, we had a hot air balloon company that gave tourist rides, right? And so we would meet in the morning, go out to the launch site, the balloon would take off, and I would follow along in the van and pick them up where they landed. It's a fun job.
Do you share any interest in aviation?
Sure, yes, we've flown balloons and airplanes all over the world. And for 9 years, we flew a biplane and gave rides at air shows.
When did you get married to Mr. Joe Kittinger, and where did you get married?
We got married in Las Vegas in 1991.
We have a question from the chat room.
Okay.
Jack.
Is there a question?
Yes.
What mission do you wish you had? Oh,
This is for
Go ahead.
Mr.
Colonel Kittinger.
I'll get them back to you. This one's pretty cool.
Okay, I'm ready.
Can they come over and say it loudly, or?
What mission do you wish you had been assigned, which you were not assigned at first?
Well, I don't think I really had any. I had a wonderful career in the Air Force, and I wouldn't have done anything any different. And looking back on it, I've had a very wonderful life of adventure and accomplished quite a bit. And I've been pretty satisfied with my life, and I wouldn't have changed anything.
I have a question for Mrs. Kittinger with respect to the marriage, I guess. How did he propose?
He proposed on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
All right. You will return to the class. You will return to the class.
Okay, blue class. All right.
So, Felix Baumgartner did a similar jump in 2012. Some of your records were broken. How involved were you in the project?
Well, I worked on that project for 5 years. I designed the landing support system. I designed the checklist. I designed the egress procedures. I was very much involved for 5 years with the program, training Felix, and then I was on the radio with them on every flight. So it was an exciting event, exciting flight. And once again, there was science that was accomplished. He was testing the next generation full pressure suit. He was testing the next generation physiological monitoring device. So I really enjoyed being a part of a project that makes some scientific accomplishments and advancement. And the Red Bull project was that. Felix did a phenomenal job of jumping. And as I say, he went 847 miles an hour during the free fall.
Wow.
All right, we have a question from the chat room. How was working with Felix Baumgartner?
Oops. Okay. Excuse me. We're still live. We're broadcasting. So we're going to try to get the call back. Okay. Hi, we're having some problems on this end, and our bandwidth isn't working too well, so. Can you hear us? All right, but we can't hear you. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Okay. All right, I don't think we can hear you. Excuse me, classes. Let's do a test again. I can hear you. No. Yes, we can. Can you hear us? All right, very good. All right, we have a few more questions.
Okay, we're back. What did you think of Felix Baumgartner jumping from the stratosphere? We heard you were giving instructions to Felix.
Through the checklist, I could watch him do it. So I was just like I was there with him, and he felt very comfortable because the communication that he had, and it worked out. When it came time to do it, it was just we would always practice it, and it wasn't any problem. So it was enjoyable. But we were all, there takes 3 things to do a project like this. You have to have confidence in your equipment, you have to have confidence in your team, you have to have confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
We had all 3 of these ingredients. We had a great team of people, and every person on the team but had one objective, and that was the safety and the well-being of Felix. And it worked. He went up, down, so we were all elated at the end of the fight when we had a company accomplish the goals that we set out to do.
All right. If you gave Felix advice, what was it?
Well, the main advice.
Okay, I think we're gonna try them one more time, and we'll just kind of say thank you, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? So can Callista move in there, please?
Okay, and we're gonna stop it here. We ended up having a little bit of trouble trying to connect with him, but it was something I've been waiting to do for so many years, and the students have been waiting to do it. So we were extremely excited. And we really want to thank Colonel Kittinger again and his wife Sherry for helping us out. So now we're going to try another little one on, we
Hello.
had the moon rocks.
Hello, we are 7th grade students at Rye Junior High in Miss Adams' science class.
We are all from Rye, New Hampshire, and this town is close to the beach, and our ocean is the Atlantic Ocean.
We live about an hour away from Boston. If you don't know what Boston is, it's like New York City, but a lot smaller.
Boston is the capital of Massachusetts, south of New Hampshire. And we have some knowledge about moon rocks for you.
All right, so we have, I'm just going to do something about the size.
Okay. Do I need to? Okay, so this is the size of the Earth, and if this is the size of the Earth, then we have like a bunch of things that could be the size of the moon. So it could be the golf ball, or the lacrosse ball, or this toy baseball thing, or the tennis ball, and or this ball, or the marble, and well. So the answer is the tennis ball. So this is the Earth, and this is the moon. And yeah.
So now we're wondering how far away they are.
There.
Okay, so I think that we have a next group. It's going to do it, right? Thank you.
Where's the stream? Where's the stream? Okay, so since this is the Earth and this is the moon, okay, you say this.
They are 239,900 miles away from each other.
And they are 384,400 kilometers apart. That is Kilometers.
So how would that look between the two of them? So Earth is going to be here, and we're actually going to find that the moon is going to be all the way over to here.
At the other side of the cosmos.
So that's the size and that's the distance. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about, was someone going to introduce the moon rocks? Here. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Would you think the moon rocks look like this? Well, actually, we don't have that many. We just have like samples in like a disc. We couldn't get many because there wasn't many that they could collect, and the scientists still have to do like experiments on them. And we got them because our teacher, Miss Adams, applied for them from NASA, and you have to have a special like certificate and degree.
So we're all set? All right, so why don't we start with one type of rock? What do you have?
So,
All right, let's do basalt while you're here. Do you need your papers? Okay, go ahead. All right. And I'm going to start with basalt.
you can start.
Basalt forms when lava flows and crystallizes. The individual grains are large enough to like see through the microscope.
Its color is usually black or gray, and it cools quickly from lava.
What else? Anything else about basalt?
It's a mixture of feldspar and pyrrhozine.
It also has like a little bit of olivine and ilmenite.
Under the microscope, does it look a little different?
Yeah.
Okay, I see there's lots of crystals. So this must have cooled rather slowly to have crystals.
Mm-hmm. And the crystals formed slowly. Each crystal is like different in the rock.
Okay, so let's do breccia.
All right, so Apollo 15 astronauts found this. They landed near the Hadley Rail Canyon and like found the rock there. And it's spelled Breccia, but pronounced Breccia.
Breccia is made up of broken fragments of other rocks that were broken by collisions of meteorites with the moon. Breccia is made up of broken rocks and smaller mineral grains. Breccia was produced when the original crust of the moon was completely broken up by meteorites.
Breccia is a gray matrix composed of small rock fragments and glass surrounding the larger fragments of rock. Pyroxene is reddish-brown and makes up most of breccia. Breccia is olivine greenish-yellow, and anorthosite rock fragments make up breccia as well.
some of the white samples in here. All right, so anorthosite.
So our rock is called anorthosite.
This rock is black and very shiny.
It has flakes of iron titanium oxide.
The feldspar crystals are clear.
And on the moon, rocks like this make up most of the highlands on the moon. And then when the meteorites hit the anorthosite rock, it spread everywhere.
So they're really more white than anything. All right, say that again. Show that.
Like,
Is it really hard?
yeah, it turns it white and it shocks it. Thank you. And I hope you learned a lot about anorthosite.
So you may not see it too easily, but it is white. We've got some shadows underneath it, but it is white. Trying to get a good shot of it. Maybe just a little more that way. Anorthosite. All right, and then we're gonna switch over and do mare soil. And we're gonna do it over here. So we're going to hang on. Let's all right, we're gonna need to see behind you a little bit. So okay. So air soil is made of feldspar and iron seeds, and they're in basalts. So the meteorites, instead of breaking down into pieces, they produce glass because they took light and shocks.
The sample was collected in 1972 from Apollo 17.
And Apollo 17. Right. Alright, and so can we see some of the parts here? Feldspar is light gray, here in bath salts. It's very light and shock, so it's way too circular. Alright, let's see if we can find any colored pieces. There's a brown one there in the center. And another big white. But most of it is darker, right? Because it's in the mare. Anything else? Okay, highland soil. Highland soil is made of crushed feldspar, which comes from the highland area we live. That is the white part.
The color of the highland soil is like rusty red color, I guess, and it has crystals inside that are, some of them are clear, and some of them are like brown and black.
And I think there's some Looks like some brown up here, right there, right in the center right here, some brown. And let's move it around, see if we can find some more. And so you would expect to see a lot of clear or white because this is the highland soil, right?
Yeah, and
But,
all the white parts.
right. All right, and then let's switch over to orange soil.
Okay, so the color of the orange soil is like red, and they're like little like balls, and they're like red and orange and black, and they're just like a bunch of like balls. Apollo 17 astronauts shoveled the soil into a sampling bag. Oh, soil originated 3.5 billion years ago from lava that exploded. Apollo 17 discovered this sample, which is numbered 74,220. That's it. Do you want me to like point out some of the?
Sure.
Okay, so like right here, and like right there. Yeah, right there.
So it's kind of hard to see the color on this,
Yeah.
but there would be some red and some black,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Do you want me to- There. And like there's little ones.
Okay, thank you. All right, do we have anyone doing a closing?
If there's any other questions, you should probably ask now. Otherwise, thanks for Skyping with us.
We hope you learned something new and had fun seeing the moon rocks.
I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, tweet us at 7THScience.
Bye.
Okay. That was one of the moon rock experiences. Hope you enjoyed that.
Salutations! We are
from Rye, New Hampshire, coming at you live.
We'll be informing you on all the greatest.
Okay. So we're going to stop that for a moment. And let's, we have some music that the students had played, so that had created. So I'd like to play some of this for you. It might be, some of it might be a little hard to hear, but we'll go with it.
Washing machine.
The electronic music.
Okay. That was some of our original pieces from our students in Rye Junior High School. We're going to pause and archive this session of our stream. And we have a whole class that's coming up from their tech ed class and want to do something. So we're going to be back live. But I just want to do a shout out to Earthbridges. They've been allowing us to stream on the Earthbridges channel and making it possible for us to share our voices with others from around the world. We also want to thank everyone listening in the chat room. And for more information about the Earthcast and future echoes, which are follow-up stories, you can go to earthbridges.net. We'll be taking a quick break to stop the stream and archive this portion. This window will now play recorded material. Our next live show will be number 7. It'll be underneath this one. And we will be back shortly.